Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about the Swarovski 115mm spotting scope. I just recently purchased this and there's not really a whole lot of videos that do comparisons from other spotting scopes, as well as going into like some of the smaller details that you should really take into consideration for your purchase of your next spotting scope. So we'll get into the unboxing. It comes in this nice box. When you open the box, it'll just have some simple paperwork about the warranty, and then here's the spotting scope right here. Right out of the box, it'll come with a front cover. You just unclip it like that. It'll come with this back cover. You just twist that off, and there you go. You got the 115mm Swarovski spotting scope. Alright, so this is what it looks like just straight out of the box. You may notice it does not have an eyepiece. So, the reason for that is because you can buy different eyepieces, like a straight one, an angled one. There's a binocular one. I'll put pictures of these each. And there's also different mounts and adapters you can get, like if you want to attach like a Sony camera so you can take pictures of something, or just different things like that. So, right out of the box, it does not, when you're purchasing the 115mm, it does not come with a eyepiece. So you have to purchase that separately. I have purchased the angled eyepiece, and that is just in a similar box and just looks like this. You'll pop this off, the eye cover, twist that cover off. And this is a kind of confusing part, so to put these together, there's a white dot, like a little white circular dot there, and a white circular dot on the top of this. For all eyepiece mounts for these spotting scopes, the way you attach it is you line up the white dot and you twist it on until this button, this black button, will click out. And then if you want to take it off, you're going to push in this button, just like this, rotate it, and it comes right off. So same, I'll show you again. You got the white dot, line it up, the button will be in, twist it, the button clicks out, and it's locked in there. And that's how you know you've got your eyepiece on there correctly. So there you go. This is the angled eyepiece with the 115mm Swarovski spotting scope. Alright, so some of the first things I really like about this spotting scope, before getting too detailed into it, is it has a built-in bipod mount. So you don't have to, like a traditional spotting scope, you've just got the normal bottom and you have to buy and screw in this little square mount to get it to fit onto a tripod. With this, you do not. It is already built in, that square. It fits most, if not all, tripods. So you just set it right on there, screw it in, there you go. It's already, there you go. That's it. It's just attached quick, easy, smooth. You don't got to worry about the bottom screw coming loose or it breaking or any of that. It's pretty nice. Alright, so this is what it looks like with the angled eyepiece and just the 115mm spotting scope. I put it on the tripod because it's a little bit easier to explain and show different things about it. So, starting off, you just got this is your focus knob, your focus wheel, whatever you want to call it. And then this back one's going to be your magnification. So you've got this will extend out for blocking sun glare. You can rotate this out for your eye, depending on where you like to look, or how far you like to rest your eye away from the actual glass. I typically like to have it at its lowest possibility, but my dad likes to have it at its farthest possibility, so it is adjustable, which is nice. This knob on the side, you can loosen it, and it lets you tip it to a different angle, so there's several different main positions, so you can have it just straight up and down like you would traditionally have if you're just like glassing for mule deer or something. Or you can turn it at about 45-degree angles. If you say you've got either you've got a weird position, you've got to be looking at something, or you've got a camera that you don't want to be holding like this. You can turn it like this so it's a little bit easier of an angle for you to film something. Also, if you got kids, you can rotate it down. There you go. Your kid can look up into it, easily see what's going on. As you're rotating it, once this knob is loosened, it has different spots it clicks at. So like right there, I don't think you guys can probably hear that, but it'll click. And it'll kind of lock in a spot. And once it's at one of those spots, whichever spot you want, you just tighten that knob back down and you're set. It'll just lock into that position. And if you get the spotting scope out of the box and you're like, why the heck is the whole thing spinning like this is a piece of garbage or something? It's because this knob is not tight. So just put it in the position you want, the upright position probably, and tighten this down. And you're not going to have that problem anymore. So that took me a while to figure that one out. So that's kind of important to understand when you're going out, because you don't want to be out in the woods and then be like, my spotting scope's just spinning like crazy. Alright, like I said before, eyepiece, to take it off, you're going to just press in this button and rotate it off. Something to think about when you're purchasing a tripod for this is it needs to be a high quality tripod. You don't want to spend all your money on your spotting scope and then just buy a cheap crappy cheap tripod for your spotting scope, because once you take that back lens off, it unbalances it. And for most bipods, I mean, it depends, this one's a pretty good bipod, but if this is a little bit loose and you take that off, this may just go swinging down fast, and potentially if you don't have your knobs tightened down, it can fall off and, I don't know, maybe crack your lens or something. So you're going to want to make sure you've got a good tripod for your spotting scope. And just remember that as you're taking this off, this may just swing forward, and potentially, as you can see, that frontwards weight will sometimes want to tip that tripod over. So say you're sitting there glassing the deer, you're sitting in a rock pile, you forget that, you pull that off, and this falls forward, rock hits your lens, and you crack your spotting scope, which you do not want to have happen. Alright, moving on. We've got the 1.7 magnifier. This, you open the box, it just has this little cover, another little cover you twist off. This is what it looks like right out of the box. Now, this does not just go straight over the top, and this is part of the reason why when you buy one of these spotting scopes, it will not come with a case, because it's customizable. You can get a variety of different eyepieces, the angled straight, binocular ones. You can get camera adapters where you can attach a camera onto here, and then you can also get a amplifier like this one. So that is the reason why they do not sell a case with it. So what you're going to do to put this amplifier on is you're going to I would recommend holding up here with one hand so you make sure it doesn't fall forward and your tripod flips off a rock, but push this button in, rotate, pull this off, pull your eyepiece off, whichever eyepiece you have. Then you're going to take the female end, line up again the white dot, it's right at the top by my thumb up there. You're going to line that white dot up, put it on there, make sure there's no seam and it's all flush. Rotate it. That button, it's not clicked out right now, so now I know that it's not in there fully. There we go, it just clicked. You guys should have heard that click. So now this button right here, it should not be in at all. It should be perfectly flush. That means it's fully locked in. Then you're going to take your eyepiece, once again line it up with the white dot, rotate it, and there you go. You got the 115mm Swarovski spotting scope with the angled eyepiece and the 1.7 amplifier on it. You've got, this is still just your just regular focus, and then you've got your zoom right here. Instead of just doing your traditional 30 to 70, you've got your amplified amount of zoom on the closer ring instead. Alright, so this set up with a 1.7 amplifier especially helps if you're a photographer and you're trying to get, like, say, pictures of a banded duck or goose or something like that, or you want to get just super, super detailed, good pictures of an animal. Especially small animals like hummingbirds, squirrels, chipmunks, any type of small little animal like that. Alright, for size comparison, this is a Vortex 85mm spotting scope. So, for traditional hunting spotting scopes, this is a pretty good size spotting scope. So, when you're comparing the two, this one is huge compared to it. So, you do need to consider the weight of this. I don't know the weight of this off the top of my head, so I'll put it right here so you guys can see it. So, say you have a limited amount of weight that you're going to be taking in, like you've got pack horses or you're going in on a plane or something, or if you don't want to be packing a heavy spotting scope like 5 miles up a mountain and then 5 miles back down the mountain, you need to take that into consideration as well, because it is heavy and it is a lot bigger than most other spotting scopes. So just keep that in mind. Alright, so next up we have the Swarovski spotting scope covers. I decided to buy mine straight from Swarovski, and the reasoning for that is because the way they sell their covers for their spotting scope is for each individual piece, because, like I said, you have that adjustable. You can add your 1.7 zoom, you can do different eyepieces, you can do multiple different things here. So they don't sell one full case like a traditional Vortex. When you buy it, they'll just come with like a sleeve, soft case. But since this is a lot more customizable for eyepieces, they don't sell that case all in one. So you want to buy them separate. I don't have the case that covers the 1.7 amplifier all put together. I just have the case that does the eyepiece and the regular spotting scopes. Alright, so here is the front section of the soft cover. Here's a strap, here's another strap, it'll be in the box. So once you've got your spotting scope, you've got your soft case, you're going to want to unzip that, and it's probably easier to just completely take this front part off. It'll probably get in the way as you're trying to put it on, but there is this square in the fabric right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. That will line up with this mount on the bottom of the spotting scope. So this is what it looks like once you've got that on. That little square is going to be lined up. Just get it as close as you can. Just line that up with this. This should be on the side. You'll have a clip on top, clip on the bottom. You'll grab your front cover. One side's a magnet and one side is a button. And the button side, you will clip on there. It goes up and over the top, and that square is a magnet right there. And there you go. There it is with this is the Swarovski soft case. If you want to look at something, you'll take off this top magnet. You can either completely pull off the bottom piece or just flip it around or to the side. I traditionally just flip it around to the side or the bottom, or just let it hang there. It doesn't really matter. It's just kind of whatever you prefer. Right, now I've got the back portion of the soft case. You got two pieces. You've got the eyepiece. This goes over this part. And you've got this piece which goes over this section. Alright, so this part's a little bit confusing. So you've got the piece of the case that goes right here. There'll be this black little loop that's going to be up and facing out as you put it on there. You'll slide it on. You'll have this button should be there. It should line up with this other button. You'll clip that on. You'll have the zipper on the side. Zip the zipper up. Alright, now that you just have your cover for your eyepiece, one side has two buttons and one side has one. The side that has one button goes on the bottom, and the side that has two goes on the top. So you're going to start off by doing the top ones. They just clip in. Then you come to the bottom. It'll clip on there like that. You got your zipper here. If you want to look at something just really quick, you just pop that, pop that. You can twist it around out of your way. You look through, you got your magnification right here, the closer knob, then you've got your focus. And there you go, this is the 115 millimeter Swarovski with the angled eyepiece, with the angled eyepiece cover and just the traditional 115 millimeter case for the main spotting scope. So the case setup that I have, just the front main piece and the angled eyepiece, will not hold the 1.7 magnifier inside the case. So if you're just gonna have this, you gotta have this separate. So you can put this in your binocular case, you can put it in a sock and put it in your pack in the top pouch somewhere, so you can just quickly twist it on. I'm not positive if they make a case that will incorporate the extra 1.7 magnifier space in between, but it's a pretty slick, simple system. It's not all super baggy. It's pretty nice and close to the actual spotting scope. Something I would highly recommend is the all-in phone scope mount, which you'll get in the box. You'll get your phone case on the website. You just go and say what phone you have, and they'll ship you a phone case with this in the same box. You'll get your magnet. You'll take the magnet. You want this eyepiece to be all the way down, and you want this red little logo to be at the top of the spotting scope. Then once your phone's in here, all you have to do, recording. You want to film sideways? There you go, put it on there. Filming. You're filming a video, YouTube video, you want to get a kill shot? Filming. You want some Instagram videos of a buck? There you go. And it's not big and bulky, it's easy, so you can easily just have this in your pocket, be hunting around, go on Onyx, take normal pictures, do whatever you want, but then as soon as you want to hurry and film something, just slap it on there. You can also just look through it normally with this piece on. So it's pretty nice. You don't have to have the other traditional big bulky spotting scope phone mounts, as well as the big bulky phone cases that traditionally most spotting scope phone cams come with. Alright, so the next portion of our video is going to be the actual quality you get using this spotting scope compared to just a 85 millimeter standard Vortex spotting scope, which this is a good spotting scope. I've been using it for the past few years, but switching to this one, definitely a big upgrade, so we'll get to that footage right now. This video is taken by the Swarovski from 1,200 yards away with my phone camera zoom on 1 power without the 2x amplifier. This is what it looks like with my phone zoomed in to 2.5 power. This is a video of the spotting scope on 70 times power and my phone zoom on 1 times power. This is a video of my phone on 2.5 power zoom and the spotting scope on 70 power zoom. This is a video of the spotting scope on 70 power zoom and my phone on 2.5 power zoom at 2 miles away. Alright, so all that footage I just showed you guys was just the spotting scope and the zoom that's just built into your regular iPhone camera. I'm going to take some footage with this 2x amplifier on there, and you guys can see the difference. This is a video with the 1.7 amplifier and on the lowest zoom setting. This is a video with the 1.7 amplifier with the spotting scope on full zoom. Keep in mind that while I'm filming this, it's 80 degrees and there is some sun mirage. This is a video of a boat that is 2 miles away with the amplifier on full zoom. This is a video with the 1.7 amplifier with the spotting scope on 70 power and my phone on 2.5 power. Here it is with the 2x amplifier. You've got the amplifier goes here in the middle in between the front section and the back section. This is what she looks like. This is what I'm looking at. That's the soccer field I was looking at, and the boat and the ducks were over there by that sandy beach over there. So, and then that over there, that big white building right there, that was the white apartments. This is of the golf course with the 2x amplifier with my phone on 1 power zoom, and I can almost, well, if I look hard enough, I can read the license plates of cars. So here we got the other spotting scope set up. I'm gonna be looking at the same thing down at that soccer field, so we'll compare them. This is with the spotting scope on its lowest power zoom, which is 20, and my phone is on 1 power zoom. Here, I'll zoom my phone into 2.5 zoom. This is what it looks like. And now, I'm going to zoom in the spotting scope to its max power, which is 60. I'll try and refocus it for you guys. There you go. That is my phone at 2.5 zoom and the spotting scope at 60 times zoom at the same field. This is the white apartments with my phone on 1.5 zoom with the Razr 85mm on 20 power zoom. This is my phone zoomed into 2.4 zoom. And now this is what it looks like with the spotting scope on 60 power zoom, which is its max zoom. There you guys have it. There's the difference between the Razr 85mm and the Swarovski 115mm with the 2x amplifier and without the 2x amplifier. So here in a little bit, once it gets a little bit darker, I'll bring them both back out and I'll show you a comparison of how well it tracks in light. All right, guys, it's starting to get a little bit darker. I got the Razr 85mm on the spotting scope right now. This is a Vortex spotting scope. I'm gonna take some videos of it what it looks like with this light and see how much light it pulls into the spotting scope, and then I'm going to swap over, use the other one, and show you guys a comparison for low lighting. So supposedly, one of the main nice things about the Swarovski, however you pronounce it, 115 millimeter lens is that it pulls in a ton of light with how big its lens is, which makes it so when you get these dark afternoons or when you wake up early, you can, before a traditional person with just like one of these spotting scopes, you can begin to glass and see when those big bucks are still out of the timber feeding because they were feeding at night, and as they're going back to hide in the timber for the day, you'll be able to spot them, opposed to just having this. And it basically, I mean, it pulls in a little bit of light, but it still doesn't pull in a ton of light, so it's kind of got to be daylight out to use it. Mule deer. So here, I'll zoom it in for you guys. Now we've got my phone on 1x zoom and the Vortex Razor 85 millimeter on 60 power zoom. And this is what it looks. This is the exact same field we were looking at earlier. And now I'm gonna swap over and see how much more light this one pulls in. All right, I got the Swarovski mounted. We're doing the same thing, that soccer field. Okay, so in these clips when I am talking, I do have my exposure on my camera turned up, so it does not look dark. So I'm gonna put a little clip here that is, the exposure is gonna be changed to where you guys can see what it looks like to the human eye. So in this next clip where everything's like completely dark, the reason why is because I changed my camera settings to make it look like what I'm seeing, so you guys can see how dark it actually is, because it's pretty dark. Here I just changed my camera exposure so you can really see how dark it looks to the human eye, because normally my camera makes it look lighter than it really is, but this, with these past other clips from the spotting scope, is how dark it actually is. Phone's on 1 power zoom, and the spotting scope has the 2x amplifier with it on the lowest setting. So here I'll go to full power with the spotting scope zoom. If it'll stop shaking. That's what it looks like. Then I can also zoom in a little bit more. It's kind of shaky because I'm standing and filming off my deck, so it's not a super stable ground to be standing on, but zoom back out. But yeah, with that brightness, this is about how light it is out here. It looks a little bit brighter on the camera, but it is actually quite dark. So you really couldn't spot a mule deer. Even if it was like 200 yards away, it would probably blend in with the vegetation around it. All right, so now I've got the Swarovski spotting scope without the 2x amplifier, and we're gonna look at the same soccer field and see how it looks. All right, so this is with my phone at 1 power zoom and the spotting scope at 30, which is its lowest zoom capabilities. And so here is what it looks like. It's honestly pretty dang good for how dark it is out here. Like, if you can't tell, look how it's, again, the camera makes it look brighter, but it is dark. Like, even if a deer was just like 100 yards away, you'd have a little bit difficult time. This is what it looks like, and that's quite a distance too. So here I'll zoom it in. Same goalie post. This is what it looks like. But yeah, there you go. I'll put the side-by-side comparison between the two. All right, I just changed my camera settings, so now you can see what to the natural eye how dark it really is. Like, it is not very light out. just over there's the soccer field. Here's the spot and scope. Get it back on, lined up. There we go. And this is what it looks like all the way from up here. So you could easily spot a mule deer, a coyote, any deer, elk, bear. For comparison, there's a car in the right side of the camera. So it's a little bit fuzzy, but given it is like, it's definitely after legal shooting light. So as you can tell, it's pretty dark out. But I hope you guys like that side-by-side comparison between the two spotting scopes. And hopefully this video has helped you decide whether you want to purchase the spotting scope. I have not used the spotting scope yet this season. I've got a couple antelope hunts coming up, and I've got a 2-week-long mule deer hunt coming up. So I will probably be releasing some more footage of animals from far distances with this spotting scope. But yeah, let me know in the comments if this video helped. If you guys have any more questions, just comment them. I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. If you want to go check out my Facebook and Instagram, I'll put them right here. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. See you on the next video.